Saudi Arabia's industrial production index rises by 17.7%, and the UAE's tourism sector recovers with revenues of $5.2 billion in this year's first half. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramya Faraj. Saudi Arabia's industrial production index increased 7.7% in July year on year. Official data shows the IPI continued to show positive growth rates due to the high production in mining and quarrying, manufacturing activity, and electricity and gas supply. In July 2022, mining and quarrying grew by 14.1% compared to July 2021. The manufacturing activity increased by 32.6% compared to the same month of the previous year. The electricity and gas supplies increased by 5%. The UAE saw a rapid recovery in its tourism sector post-pandemic, with revenues exceeding $5.2 billion in the first half of this year. The number of hotel guests rose 42% year over year to 12 million. Meanwhile, officials say the UAE's economic growth exceeded 22% this year. Foreign trade grew 18% to $272 billion in the first half, compared with $228 billion pre-pandemic. Non-oil exports reached $49 billion in H1, up 8% from the first half of 2021. Jordan's consumer price index rose 5.4% in August, year on year to 108.18. Official statistics show the increase was driven by a 20.97% increase in fuel and lighting. Jordan's public debt rose 1.6% to $40 billion in the first half of 2022, bringing its public debt to 88.4% of its GDP. Jordan's initial four-year IMF loan program of $1.3 billion approved in March 2020 was augmented to reach $1.5 billion in June 2021. The euro jumped to an over 3-week high versus the dollar this morning, and sterling rose to the highest this month as European Central Bank officials pushed the case for further aggressive monetary tightening. The greenback idled not far from a 2-week low against a basket of peers ahead of a key U.S. inflation data this week. That data may give the Federal Reserve room to slow the pace of rate hikes at its September 21st policy meeting. Swiss Re says global geopolitical tensions, macroeconomic developments, and climate change have heightened demand for risk protection. The reinsurer says it plans to further grow its natural catastrophe portfolio. That market is forecast to grow to $48 billion from $35 billion in the next 4 years. Swiss Re says as cost drivers accelerate in the current risk environment, insurance premiums must be carefully calibrated to keep pace. The Biden administration is reportedly planning to broaden curbs on U.S. shipments to China of semiconductors used for AI and chip-making tools. The Commerce Department will publish new regulations on 3 U.S. companies, KLA Corp, Lam Research Corp, and Applied Materials. The letters forbid these companies from exporting chip-making equipment to Chinese factories that produce advanced semiconductors with sub-14 nanometer processes. The move addresses the risk of these chips being used for military purposes in China. Walt Disney officials have shared their plans for how the entertainment, theme parks, and consumer products conglomerate will use technology to enhance storytelling for the next 100 years. Officials say Disney's vision for the metaverse's next generation storytelling. It plans to use data gleaned from theme park visits and consumer streaming habits to deliver personalized entertainment experiences. This includes from the company's Marvel and Lucasfilm studios. And after a 3-year hiatus, Tommy Hilfiger has taken New York Fashion Week by storm with an interactive experience live streamed on Roblox. Hilfiger said his fashion empire is bringing fashiontainment. He said it's physical, it's digital, and it's something that has really not been done by other designers. Hilfiger says it allows the brand to reach an audience that it wouldn't reach through physical fashion, one that lives in the metaverse and lives in the virtual world. I'm Ramya Faraj. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.